Hello, royal watchers and gossip connoisseurs. Pour yourself a proper mug of something warm, mute every notification, and lean into the velvet-curtained world of Windsor drama, because today's tale revolves not around who was in the room, but who very pointedly wasn't. Picture it: London's Royal Overseas League, chandeliers twinkling over polished mahogany, hush-hush aides strolling in with leather folders pressed to their chests like state secrets. On the guest list, King Charles's suave communications chief and the PR power duo behind Prince Harry and Meghan Markle. Missing in action, the Prince and Princess of Wales, William and Catherine, who, at that very moment, were probably corralling 3 children into bed after a picture-perfect Wimbledon weekend. From the outside, it looks like just another palace POW. Inside royal circles, though, omission speaks louder than any leaked memo. For years, we've watched the royal family's great fissure widen, deepen, sprout jagged stalactites of recrimination. Acts 1 through 10 of this soap opera, Megxit, Oprah, racist royal headlines, spare, flying teacups, metaphorical, or otherwise, have played out under an unforgiving global spotlight. Now, as whispers swirl of a peace summit, the question on every commentator's tongue is the same: why aren't William and Catherine anywhere near the negotiating table? And what does that silence tell us about the true state of Windsor diplomacy? Imagine the mood at Kensington Palace when those press alerts pinged across phone screens. Secret meeting sparks royal reconciliation rumors. One can almost picture William glancing at the headlines, jaw tightening, while Catherine turns the page of the Very Hungry Caterpillar for Louis. Sources close to the couple insist they weren't merely overlooked, they were purposefully distant. They don't want to be part of a PR show, sniffs an insider, and in that single sentence lies a library of grievances. Let's rewind to trace how we arrived here. Back in early 2020, Harry and Meghan's bombshell exit ripped a hole in the royal firmament. They wanted financial independence, creative freedom, fewer front-page ambushes. The family countered with steely schedules and a desperate hope the storm would pass. Instead, California called, Oprah beckoned, Netflix cameras rolled, and by the time the final credits faded, Buckingham looked less Downton and more reality TV reunion, except no one seemed ready to pass the tissues or hug it out. For William, loyalty is the currency that never devalues. Friends say that when Harry chose a primetime confession over private mediation, the elder brother felt something rip in a place stitches can't reach. Catherine, meanwhile, found herself recast from supportive sister-in-law to made Meghan cry, antagonist in a story she barely recognized. Add accusations of racism, an anecdote about lip gloss, and the not-so-subtle suggestion that certain relatives plotted against Meghan's mental health, and you have the perfect recipe for silence thick enough to slice with a scepter. Fast forward to July 14th. The Waleses take their seats in the royal box at Wimbledon, sun glinting off centre court, as 16-year-old Prince George leans forward on the edge of his cushion. Jannik Sinner defeats Carlos Alcaraz in 4 stylish sets. Kate hands out trophies with that trademark sunbeam smile, and the family retreat home for what they hope is a tranquil evening. 48 hours later, London's gossip mill erupts. Harry's representatives slipped into a historic gentlemen's club for a clandestine chat with Charles's spin doctor Tobin Andrew. Cue headlines screaming royal peace plan. And battle of the PR titans. Except, there's a twist. According to Radar Online, William and Kate were never briefed, and they're quietly glad about it. Trust, it seems, is still in the intensive care unit. After all, every supposedly private effort since 2020 has boomeranged onto talk shows, streaming services, or the pages of a memoir that outsold many a romance novel. Accountability, murmurs a family friend, is non-negotiable. Translation: until Harry publicly retracts the retraction, and maybe writes a handwritten apology longer than Spare itself, don't expect the Waleses to audition for season 2 of Royal Rehab. If this sounds harsh, consider Catherine's current reality. Early this year she stepped out of the limelight to wage a quieter battle, an unpublicized cancer diagnosis that blindsided the public and reminded everyone that beneath designer coats and gemstone earrings beats a human heart. Recovery, 3 young children, a husband juggling kingdom-sized expectations. The idea of adding family mediation to that to-do list borders on cruel. The princess has spent the summer moving gently through treatment, shielding George, Charlotte, and Louis from intrusive lenses, and cherishing ordinary moments. Louis's muddy football triumphs, Charlotte's budding ballet solos, George's wry jokes about algebra. William, too, has recalibrated. Once the adrenaline-hunting helicopter pilot, now the heir apparent shouldering more constitutional weight than ever, his still nursing wounds readers can't see. To him, loyalty isn't just an old-school virtue, it's oxygen. When that oxygen feels tainted by selective leaks or half-truths, he steps back rather than risk suffocation. Every secret summit, splashed across tabloids, only hardens the resolve. In William's worldview, peace isn't forged in conference rooms peppered with spin doctors, it's hammered out face-to-face, mano a mano, with receipts on the table and apologies louder than grievances. Meanwhile, Harry and Meghan's camp see the meeting as a pragmatic first step. Diplomacy, they argue, starts with staff untangling logistics, funerals, coronations, toddler birthdays, long before siblings share tea. The trouble? Even that mundane planning becomes front-page fodder, reinforcing William's worst fear, that every olive branch is whittled into a spear by morning edition. So where does that leave the monarchy? On one hand, you have a king keen to patch his legacy, 2 sons orbiting each other in frosty silence, and a public weary of sources say sagas. On the other, you have the Wales family hunkered down behind palace walls, prioritizing health, homework, and a friction-free summer holiday in Norfolk. Their absence from reconciliation talks may read as stubbornness, but to them it's self-preservation, and, frankly, a protective moat for 3 impressionable heirs watching all this unfold online. Will we see William and Harry eventually clasp hands on palace steps? Royal history adores dramatic reconciliations. Think Charles and Diana's Show of Unity tour in Korea, awkward, or the Queen forgiving Camilla, slow burn. But unprecedented times call for unprecedented transparency. Sources close to William quietly insist nothing less than a personal apology for specific slights, particularly those touching Catherine, will open the gates. Until then, every secret summit will remain exactly that, secret from the very people whose trust hangs in the balance. Maybe, just maybe, a different playbook is needed. An honest reckoning that doesn't hide behind crafted talking points or curated Instagram filters. Just 2 brothers in a room, without cameras or counselors, hashing over hurts until the teapot runs dry. Whether royal DNA can stomach that kind of raw honesty is anyone's guess. For now, all eyes rest on the empty chairs in London's mahogany clubs. Their emptiness is eloquent. It whispers of boundaries drawn, priorities reshuffled, wounds not yet scabbed. In the grand theatre of monarchy, absence sometimes delivers the loudest soliloquy of all. So, dear viewers, where do you stand? Is William right to hold out for rock-solid accountability, or should the brothers seize any olive branch before the chasm grows wider? Could Catherine's quiet recovery lend urgency to a family truce, or justify more time behind palace gates? Tap out your thoughts in the comments. We read every spicy hot take and measured reflection alike. If this deep dive pulled back the gilded curtain for you, tap the like button, subscribe for future royal revelations, and ring that bell so you're first to know when another clandestine coffee meeting morphs into tomorrow's headline. Until next time, keep your tea piping, your gossip civil, and your crowns, real or imaginary, polished bright.